Hi, Power Year number sixes, and welcome to Gemma's Window. If you followed the calculations in the information box below and concluded you're a Power Year number six, then you're at the right place. I'm going to let you look at the calculations by yourself and do them in your own time so I don't confuse you, and you only have to do it once for 2019. If you're a six, you're a six, and that's the way it stays. Hey, Power Year Sixes, here's some fun. In the month of September, you're also in the month of six. Ooh la la. Now, six is the most romantic, sexy month of the entire year. There's other romantic months, but this is the most years, but this is the most romantic year. It also can be a breakup year, so we're going to take a look at that. And matching the month of six, wow, we may get some real action going. The other thing about six is that it means responsibility, and it means about, have you been giving too much or have you been giving too little, and about evening that out. And you may get smacked in the face about that, so we'll see. What happens there. It can also be about relocation, and relocation, I tell my clients, like when I get the symbol for relocation, when you're sitting across from me and I get that clairvoyantly in my head or third eye, that can mean moving across the office. So let's take a look about relocation for you too. Now, sixes, I have your special numbers in front of me, so grab a pen or pencil, or maybe you just would like to remember them, okay? Now, your super duper days for every month are the 9th, the 18th, and the 27th. So always remember those. You can expect sterling results from anything that you try on those days. But let's go to the best day for jobs and finance for the month of six for you, sixes. Those days would be September 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, and the 29th. Now, the best days for romance for you sixes are September 9th, September 18th, and September 27th. Now, notice those romance days are the same as your power days. Wow. Ooh, I can't wait to look at romance for you. Now, surprises or unexpected events in the month of six for you will be September 5th, the 14th, and the 23rd. Now, moving right along, we're going to shuffle these cards. La la la, shuffle, 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 shuffle. And we're going to take a look first at business, second at love, third at any situation you'd like, and ask for the best possible outcome. So for those of you sixes who are working, let's take a look. We have a couple cards that fell. Actually, it's just the one, so I'm going to leave that and put it to the side. And let's take a look at... So apparently at work, it's time to look for help. It's time to ask for help, and it's time to say what you want. Because I feel like what I've got here for you sixes, for those of you who are working, is that perhaps either somebody else new came on the workforce that's bothering you, or you have just begun in something new that isn't quite working, or there's something new that's posted that you want. It all leads to expressing what you need to get what you want. Now, in this month of September, the outcome here is that you do make headway. You do make a lot of headway if you ask the right person for what you want and need. You will be able to change the course of your job. Apparently, you've paid your dues. That's where that responsibility thing comes in. If you've been, up to snuff with your chores, your responsibilities and whatnot at the workplace, and you're seen in a good light, well, now it's your turn. And it is. The cards say it is your turn to move ahead. Now, the card that fell down, I just turned it over, and in my deck, that's about, it's the Ten of Swords, and it's about you protecting others, you protecting others, you protecting others. And I want to suggest to you, sixes, that this month is about you. It's about you. So try to think about what do you really want, and you alone, and try to make it happen. And according to what I have here, you have this beautiful Ace of Pentacles. It's the recreation card. It's woohoo, it's starting new, it's starting fresh, and making some money. But it's my recreation card, and it's about you need changes, you want changes, go for it. Go for it, sixes. Now, I'm going to pull cards out for those of you sixes who are looking for work in this month of September. Okay? All right, here we go. I'm pulling. Let's see how you can change these words. That's funny. But not the outcome. Change these words to fit your situation if you're looking for a job. This is very funny. So, if you're looking for a job, but it also can apply to those of you who are at the end of your rope with a job or something along those lines, because it looks to me like you either have done this, or the universe is saying you are going to face this in September, where you either lose your cool and say what you think, or you say something by accident to somebody. But whatever it is along those lines where there's some kind of confrontation, but you're the one who's confronting for the most of you. You run and you hide because you're like, oh, no, what did I do? I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I was at this interview and everything was going well. And then all of a sudden I said, I'd like to work home from can I work from home a couple days a week? And they just stopped dead in their tracks and stared at me. You're being very hard on yourself, and that is what the cards are saying. So if you're out there and you're plugging, and this could be for somebody looking for a job, this could be for somebody thinking that their job's going to end any day, this could be for somebody who's thinking that they're going to go back to the same place that they used to work, or ask a contact to help them. I think everything is A-okay for you, everybody, is that you don't have to worry so much. I think that you had to do what you had to do, and you had to say what you had to say. You felt how you felt, or maybe you feel like you told the wrong person certain information and you're wondering, did they go back and say something? Oh my God. Or maybe you know that they did. I don't know. Somehow, some way, it was just supposed to be that way this month. And there is no outcome here about it, but what I feel like it's saying is that you're much more worried about it than you need to be. It's something that needed to happen, and try to live with it, deal with it. And I think the month of 6 is a good month for you to get that job. Next month, you're in the month of 7, which is a much more of a slow month and a thinking month. And then the next month, which is a month of 8, so that's November, is a very successful month for you. So take that information and tweak it to your concern. If you want to send me a question, send me a question on the email, gemmaswindow.com. About your particular situation, but I feel like it had to come to blows, whatever you did. Now, this can also relate to, like, if you're home, you're home and somebody's on your neck about, did you get that job? Did you look here? Did you look there? And you let them have it. I feel like it had to be done. Things had to be said. Let's move to romance for those of you who are 6s who are and I'm going to put these cards back in because the new relationship card is in there, and this is a heavy month about relationships, and so I want to have all my ducks in a row, and I want to ask about relationships as far as 6s go in this month of 6. Okay, so here we go. For those of you who are already in a relationship, voila, very, very, very nice. Very nice card. Okay, let's just do one more. Okay. Okay. So you're going along swimmingly, and you think everything is going along. I just want to touch this card. You feel like everything is going along. And I hate to do this to you, sixes, but there's trouble in the background. Now, you know out there if you're the one who's causing the trouble. You know if you're doing something behind the scenes, and it doesn't have to be cheating, but you know if you're doing something that your loved one doesn't want you to do. But I feel like this reading is saying that somebody could be doing something to you that you wish that they were not doing. And I feel like you've just been kind of trusting for a long time and in the mode of everything's fine, everything's good, everything's fine. And this is for those of you who have been feeling this. And it's really not. Something takes a very abrupt about face on you. And part of that can be you being taken advantage of or you being taken for granted. And it comes to a head, I feel like, in September. Now, I do not know. It can, yes, and it can lead to a big breakup, somebody moving out and being abrupt about it, or giving an ultimatum. Maybe it's you who gives the ultimatum. But there is something cooking here, and it's meant to. It's meant to come to a head, and it's coming to a head in September. This can also be about you having an incredible amount of patience and blowing. In this month of September. Now let's take a look for those of you who are looking for love. Okay. You know, sixes, you're going to have to take this and listen to what we just talked about in regards to if you're in a relationship and now if you're looking for one, because I just feel somehow they might be connected, and in both cases you might be able to get knowledge or answers from either one of these readings, because I feel like, you know, where you're coming from if you're looking for love. I'll be specific and give it to you how I have it, but I still think it could be overlapping. I have the Death card, and it means that something is done and dusted. Something came to an end, and it was meant to, so that you could receive wonderful things that are coming to you. And I feel like you might start out all full of excitement, and this may have happened already, but this may be happening for those of you in this month of 6, where you really had a good attitude. You really, you know, it doesn't matter if you lost 50 pounds, but say that you did. If you did lose it, it does matter, because you know that you feel better and you can, you know, wear things that you couldn't wear before. And all of a sudden, everything's just moving slow. Slow as molasses in January, and you're like, I made the appropriate changes, or these changes happened to me and I tried to make the best of them, and now everything's moving so slow. I want to tell you that it's meant to, because with this Death card, it's about letting go of the life that you were living to receive the wonderful life that's waiting for you. Now, that may not be the next day. So that if you do suffer a breakup, or you are hanging in limbo in a particular romantic situation, or you have a good attitude and you're doing so many good things out there, meeting people, and why is everything going well when you're there, but it's not going quickly enough for you? They're not calling or responding or this or that or the other thing. The universe is saying You're in the midst of letting go of the life you were living to receive the wonderful life that's meant for you. And if it's moving too slowly and it hasn't happened yet, and I feel like that's your case in this month in September, hang in there. Because it's evolving and it's working behind the scenes and it's trying to get you the right person or to the right place in a relationship. There are things happening behind the scenes, and to have the faith about that. Okay, let's move on to, and you can ask again. You can ask about love again. You can ask about business again. You can ask again. You can ask for somebody else. If your mom's having an issue, a health issue, or you are, or you want to ask about finance, or you want to ask about love or business again. I'm shuffling these cards and I'm going to ask 4 sixes in this month of 6. What is the best outcome we can expect for them in this month of September for the situation that they have decided they're going to ask about? So before I pull this card, make sure you get a question, make it clear. Pause if you have to. Get your question nice and clear. The more specific it is, the more specific the answer is. Here we go. Okay. So for one thing that comes in is that I feel like you're worrying more than you have to. There are always a lot of situations going on at once in any given person's life. That is life. So if you don't know which way to turn first, or which way to go, or who to believe, or what's really going on, that is the normal situation of life. But I feel like sixes, the cards are telling you that in this month you're worrying more than you have to. Another message here is that whatever the situation is, you've got to do what you think is best and then fight like hell for it. Fight for it. Because whatever it is you're fighting for, this Ace of Swords card talks about it's so much better once you get to the other side. Once you get through whatever the conflict is and you make your decisions and you see them all the way through, it is so much better when you get to the end of that line. And I don't feel like the end of that line is in September. Now, for some of you, it very well may be. You might say, well, that describes up to this point, and I'm just waiting for an answer about something, and it's coming. And that's awesome. Some of you might be just beginning this quest, which is what I feel like the cards are saying, where you have an uphill battle, and it's caused you much depression and anxiety. But to get out of your mind what everybody else thinks you should do, what everybody else wants, make a choice. Stick with it, go for it, fight for it, and get to the other side. And new options will arise. You will be happy with it. Now, okay, so October is going to be 7, November is going to be 8, and December is going to be 9. 9 is your month of endings in December, and new beginnings will be January. It looks to me like you have a haul ahead of you, perhaps, that's going to take some time for the real answers that you need to come out. But they will, and they may be around that time of endings and new beginnings for you, sixes. All right, my friends, it was so nice to be with you today. And please remember, gemmaswindow.com for any great true ghost stories that you have. And please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you. I'm trying to get more technical savvy. I know I'm goofing all over the place as far as getting things up on time and this and that and the other thing. But I'm working on it. Okay, sixes. Thanks so much. See you next time.